EXO. Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Chrissy. Friends, I have that freaking meme stuck in my head from the girl at the Inha concert, and she was like, EXO. I've been singing that shit all day. Anyway, hi friends, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Chrissy, and we are back. It is that time of week, everyone, where we gather around the campfire to discuss the most thrilling event weekly, Boys Planet, Boys 2 Planet, Boys Planet 2, whatever you'd like to call it. We are gathered around the campfire to discuss what happened in this week's episode. As you guys can see, I am alone again today to recap. Denny is a flop again, and it's fine. I love you, Denny, but you flopped again. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But anyways, friends, like, I have so much to speak upon for this episode, for episode 6. There was so much that happened, and I'm just like, I can't wait to talk about it and like outwardly speak my truths on a lot of stuff. There's so much. Oh my God, there's literally so much. Okay, so before I get into this, once again, anyone interested in watching the full reactions over on Patreon, those are up. I've surprised myself, actually. I've been very on time with those reactions, and that's not normally like me. But yes, those are up on Patreon if anybody wants to watch the episodes along with me. Now, diving in to episode 6 of Boys Planet, friends. First of all, we left off last week. So last week is when we started the performances, right? So we left off with, obviously the 2 S-Class teams performed, and then we had one of the 2S plot twist teams. So resuming into this episode, they go straight, which I love this episode for the main fact that it was just like all performances, because I don't know, it just keeps my attention. But in any case, we start the episode off and we are back. We are back with the other 2S plot twist team. Now, here is where we start with this episode and with this team. So we have Lee Jung as the leader, and one of the other members in this group is Yi Chen, which, by the way, I've seen so many people writing for Yi Chen. I've seen so many people voting for Yi Chen. I know so many people love him so much. He's really hot. He's so fine. I didn't realize, like, I think he's from another survival show, you guys told me, but there were a couple pictures that surfaced on my Twitter of him, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, was not expecting that, because in the show, he's just such a little bean with his little glasses, and I'm like, ooh, okay, Yi Chen. But anyway, moving on. So Yi Chen, the problem that we're having in this group automatically, one of the obstacles, excuse me, that we are facing is that Yi Chen, he has the killing part, right? So obviously we saw in the last episode that Liu went up against Yi Chen for the killing part. Lee Jung gave the killing part to Yi Chen, okay? Because his let's be real, his vocals were better suited, okay? So Yi Chen keeps on leaving. Like, this boy just keeps getting up and like leaving. He's just leaving. He's just taking a little stroll. He's somewhere. No one knows where he is. Just an elusive king. We're like, Yi Chen, where are you, babe? Like, Yi Chen. So the problem is that they're trying to practice and basically get their formations and, like, you know, yada yada, but Yi Chen is like literally nowhere to be found, and they keep kind of getting like frustrated, which leads Yi Chen and Lee Jung to have a little conversation. Eventually what we end up with is that the killing part ends up switching to Liu, so they end up choosing Liu, which Lee Jung in the last episode said that he basically had Liu in mind when choosing this song, but unfortunately, like, when him and Yi Chen kind of did their little battle for the parts, Yi Chen just was stronger vocally, right? So I thought this was interesting, because I'm like, ooh, okay, this is like coming full circle. I'm like, okay, but also, to be fair, like, I know how popular Liu is, but okay, bear with me, okay? I just am, like, from last recap, you guys know, like, I just don't see it with Liu. Like, I don't know why and how everyone and their mother is voting for him, because I get he's so cute. He's so cute. He has such a sweet personality. Like, I will protect with my life. But, like, vocally and just, like, everything wise, I wasn't seeing it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm missing, but I don't see it. they show Liu and how he's improving a lot. Like I guess he like catches on to choreography really fast. He is, you know, like nailing these like dance moves, the performance, like all this stuff, right? So now fast forward to the actual performance. So I was kind of scared low-key because you guys know that the killing part went to Hyunjun in the last plot twist team, which you guys know I'm voting for Hyunjun. I think he is honestly one of the most talented, especially for his age. He is so talented. His personality, like the way that he just delivers a performance is like, that is an idol to me. And he's so young, which is so wild to me. So I was kind of scared for Liu going into this performance. Now I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Okay. Coming out of this performance, because I know Sunghyun was also in this team, and he's another one where I'm like, I see why. Like, he's a fantastic rapper and he's so cute. His smile is so pretty. And I can see him. Like, I know why and can tell why he's super popular. Even though, like, I'm not personally voting for him, but I could see him in the group as opposed to Liu. After I watched this performance, I got it. Okay, I got it. Y'all, I got it with Liu. And I was, like, kind of low-key gagged because I wasn't expecting to get it, all right? I have to say, Liu, it's really funny how this kind of goes to show you what is shown and what isn't, and how a narrative can kind of be set, especially with Mnet and what they choose and choose not to show. Because for me, obviously, like, as a watcher, okay, like, as like any basic watcher, you're just gonna watch what the show shows you, right? A lot of people don't go beyond to search, like, videos beyond and, like, actually hear and see the talent that some of these idols possess that may not be shown. But as just a casual watcher of the show, right, I just was not getting it. Like, everything that Mnet would show of Liu, he was very weak vocally, just not giving me something that is worth top 8. And I was like, what are we doing? And then I watched this freaking plot twist, damn, To Us performance, and I was like, holy shit, I get it with Liu. Like, I understand it. He did so well. Like, when I tell you, okay, even though I will still say, like, I think technically, like, his vocals still need a little bit of work, obviously, the way that he sold that performance with the energy, in my head, I was like, now I know why Lee Jong chose Liu and, like, had him in mind for this concept and for the team, because I was like, he literally fits it perfectly. And also, like, knowing that he's just, like, a crazy introvert and he's out here doing, like, the most, like, cutest, like, energetic, I was like, oh, okay, Leo. So I came out of that performance like, I get it. So to be fair, like, once again, sometimes I have to just tell myself, like, you know, we got to admit our faults sometimes, Chris. And I apologize to the Liu stans, because also I will say too, I did see something come across my Twitter one day, and it was like a cover that Liu was singing. And like I said, like, I don't know a lot of these idols and, like, trainees outside of what I'm seeing, like what I'm shown on Mnet. And he was covering some song and he sounded beautiful. And I was like, see, this is what I need. This is what I need to see. This is what I need to hear, because everything they're showing of him is not showcasing his talent. And I'm like, clearly it's coming. Something is coming somewhere, because if there's that many people voting for him where he's coming in, like, 4th, 5th place every week, I'm like, there's got to be something that I'm missing. And I get it. So just wanted to say this was my like revelation with Liu. So for the Liu stans out there, congratulations. I'm a believer. So wrapping this team up, like, he did incredible. I think Sunghyun as well is also another one that he's so incredible. He's got such a great presence and he's such a good rapper. I think for me, like, Hanum and Woojin are also fantastic because their vocals are just unmatched, but Woojin really takes the cake for me. Like, I think Hanum is vocally, like, he's technically, like, he has better technicality, but Woojin, I don't know, there's just the way that he sings, like, the tone, just, that style, like that sound in his voice is just like so for me, and I love him. So I think for this one, honestly, Liu really took the cake in terms of the standout for me. So that's what happened. And I want to point out too, like the scoring at the end too. I believe Hyunjun ended up winning over Liu, but I will say once again, like, congratulations to Liu for literally like performance of a lifetime for him, truly, and I'm so happy for him. So that was the To Us team. I don't, like I said, I don't really touch upon everyone all the time, so I'm sorry if I miss people within these teams, friends, because I normally just like kind of note down like standouts or like someone that I need to speak upon. So if I don't mention someone, I do apologize, and you guys can tell me who, and I can comment on them next time or like be more aware of them. Moving on to Rising Sun. Oh my god, Rising Sun. We need to talk about Rising Sun. We need to talk about Rising Sun for one reason and one reason only. And we'll get to him, but I'm going to mention him, and that's Andrew. Andrew motherfucking Han. Andrew Han. Andrew. I don't know what the fuck, whoever you want to call him. Andrew! Okay? We'll get to him, but I had to preface that by saying that. So, moving into Rising Sun Team 1, okay? So we have a little bit of stress in this team. This is the team, we have Zhang Fan, right? Who has I think he has the killing part, right? Killing part, main vocal? The killing part. Listen, I have to speak on this. Let me not get ahead of myself, because I'm already getting ahead of myself. But we have Zhang Fan, okay, and he's stressed. Friends, he's stressed. We have some stress in this team too. Everyone's stressed and overworked. Basically we see Zhang Fan, he's having a hard time with choreo, like the formation, the choreo. Now, the thing is like TVXQ, for anyone who's, you know, a hag like me, you guys know TVXQ is crazy to cover. This is such a hard song to cover. Not only like vocally, but like the deliverance of a second gen group is always hit or miss, at least for me. And Rising Sun is one of the hardest songs to sing. Like the register, like the octaves you have to hit in the vocals for this, everyone is struggling, okay? But with that being said, Zhang Fan's struggling with formation. We're having a hard time with the just with performance. He's stressed, crying, and Donghyun, we have Donghyun, who is the leader. I believe this was this the one where, hold on, I'm looking at my notes, friends. I don't think this is the one where the other, it was. I think this is where the other two, was their name like Songbik? Am I getting it mixed up? I'm looking at my notes trying to figure out. I don't know. I think there were two other members in this group who, is this the right one? I think I'm getting my teams mixed up, but in any case, let me skip over that so I don't confuse anyone. But we have Donghyun, who's the leader, and he's a little stressy too because, you know, with the whole thing with Zhang Fan, like stressed out, crying, people trying to like comfort him, like everyone's trying to like get their shit together for this performance. And then we see a little flashback too with Donghyun being friends with Hyup. I didn't know that he was friends with Hyup, and I guess like Hyup had written him a letter, which, let me just start by saying too, I am still so shocked that Hyup was voted off of this show. Like, if Hyup was in this team, y'all, it's game over. Like, it's game over. Hyup would have ate down on this song because his vocal range is so crazy. Like, the way I know that he would murder Rising Sun, and it made me so sad to see. But basically this letter kind of gives him the push, if you will, to kind of like keep going and, you know, do well, the motivation, which I really liked seeing. I just, once again, made me sad because I know Hyup would have killed it in this group. But nonetheless, we have performance time, and y'all, let me start by saying too, like, Zhangfan in this group, I kind of spoiled myself a little bit before watching the episode when the fan cams were dropped. And I was so curious to see on both teams between like Zhangfan and Andrew. I was like, okay, let me see what we're working with here, because this is such an iconic song, right? It's TVXQ. And I was like, I need whoever is singing this part to hit it the way we hear it, like this, like the original. And I was like, I need the deliverance. Okay. When I watched this fan cam, you guys don't even know. You don't even know how many views I've given to Zhangfan's fucking fan cam for this song. And I'm going to tell you why. All right. First of all, I've barely heard him sing in the competition. I think like we all have been waiting for him to sing, or at least hear him in this way, right? So I didn't even know kind of what he sounded like. And if I did watch something of his, like performance-wise, audition, whatever, I didn't remember. I don't remember who he is. And that's just because there's so many people, you know? And when I first heard him, like as soon as he hit this fucking line, I was like, oh my God, you know who he sounds like to me? And this was devastating. He sounds like J-Up. He sounds like fucking J-Up. His vocal tone, I was like, oh my God, I'm being transported back to second gen. And in that moment, I was like, oh, this was the person for this song, because I think he has that vocal tone that is so well suited for second gen music, like second gen group songs. Like, I don't know. I just can't think of anyone who was more perfect for this song. And he hit it, and that little like the little like vibrato trill off at the end of that note. I was like, let's go, Zhangfan. I thought he did amazing. And also in the fan cam, if you guys hear everyone, they're like, whoa, like you can hear people visibly like, oh-ing when he starts singing. So I was gagged with him. We also have Yusen, who they showcased a lot in last episode. And who I discovered is actually like a really great singer. So the problem with Yusen is that he was singing everywhere and anywhere. And Homeboy eventually was like about to lose his voice, right? So I was kind of scared for him with this one too, because some of the notes he was hitting, I was like, oh, okay, ooh, yeah. And I was actually proud of him, because here's the thing. He started off, right, as a little shaky. And it wasn't too great. Then he hit that high note, like that middle part. And at the exact moment that Hyolyn was like, I have chills, I got full body chills up my body. Yusen literally gave me chills on that part. And of course it like fizzled kind of at the end. Like the last part too was like, not so good. So the started off shaky, a little rough, 8 down. Ended it a little shaky, but that middle part that he hit was enough for me to be like memorable, king, vocal king, slay. So I was proud of him there, because that's, once again, hard ass song to sing, hard notes to reach, and he did well. Like he did as well as he could. And yeah, I thought he was great. And then there's one other person in this team that kind of stood out to me, and it's I apologize if I don't say his name correctly. Oshi? Is that his name? Oshi? All I remember is that this boy had a crazy stage presence. Every time he was on the screen, I was like, damn, like he's doing the damn thing. So I really enjoyed him as well. But overall, this team did really well. Perfectly in sync, like, you know, presence there. Everyone on the team did well. But for me, once again, standout for this group was Zhangfan. And I'm just like, so I can't even, like I said, I can't even tell you how many times I go back and replay his part in the song. Which brings me to Rising Sun Team 2 with Andrew. We have to speak about Andrew, friends. We have to speak about Andrew. I am so mad because I think that Andrew may have gotten voted off, and we all just found out as a collective that Andrew sounds like this, and I don't think he's on the show anymore, and I'm really devastated. I'm getting passionate. Okay, let me calm down. Let me rewind. All right. I need to rewind. I need to calm down because I'm about to get so passionate about Andrew, but I digress. Okay. In this team, oh my God, this team is crazy. We have like Donghan, we have Harry Jun, we have Hengyu, we have Andrew. We have just like so many good people in this group, right? And obviously anywhere Donghan is, wherever Donghan is, that shit is being run like the military, bitch. It's boot camp in here. Boys Planet, no, this is the barracks, bitch. Donghan is crazy. If anybody watched Road to Kingdom when Very Very was on Road to Kingdom, you know how Donghan gets when he is like in practice and when they're choreographing or doing like anything. Like he is military. So I was dying watching him like run the whole practice and just everything. It was so crazy. Andrew. Okay, we get to I'm gonna start crying. Girl, what is disconnecting? Chill the fuck out. We get to the workroom, all right? And Andrew sings his part, and the masters are like, ooh, yes. They're like, you're good. You have your own color. We like it. Soul, period. Andrew's voice. Ooh, you know what? It's just like so well suited for R&B too, which is like why he has this like rich, he's just got like this rich tone, and it's so, I can't even explain it. It's just like, it's just, But I was gagged when I heard his part. I was like, okay, Andrew, okay. And now let me remind you that this was me, like I was going into watching Andrew after I had just watched Zhang Fan. So I was like, okay, like, I gotta see what we're working with here, because Zhang Fan really like killed it for me when I first heard him, just because I think I'll save that part for after. But in any case, Andrew saying it was incredible. I was like, oh fuck, we are in for something good. Hengyu, my baby Hengyu, he, however, was practicing so much that he eventually like started to lose his voice. So I got nervous because I was like, oh babe, we do not need to be losing our voice. We do not need to be losing our voice before this performance, because these notes are not easy to hit. So he was kind of struggling. There was a cute moment that we saw with them in the dorms, and Masato comes over and like gives him honey for his throat, which I will say, like, Masato is so sweet. Everything I've seen of that boy is like, he is such a sweetheart, and I just appreciate that so much. And you guys already know, like, I'm so diehard for Hengyu too, that I'm like, baby boy, drink the honey. Like, we need the vocals. Especially because he was so excited about this song as a TVXQ fan and as someone who sang this song for his audition. So I was really rooting for him that he would like get better and so on and so on. So the performance begins. And they jump. Bitch, they just jump. They jump, and it's already the best thing I've ever seen. The absolute, like, the way that they were so in sync that their jumps were like the exact same height was wild to me. I was like, oh my God, we're already starting off like this. When I tell you, Andrew motherfucking Han, when I tell you, Andrew, if I don't, I need someone to take the clip of Andrew singing this part and turn it into one of those little like sound wave things where you can like put it on your body, like tattoo it, and then when someone like scans it with their phone, it like brings up the video with like that specific part, or like the Spotify playlist, right? I need it tattooed. I need the sound waves of Andrew singing this part tattooed somewhere on my body, because where have we been? Why has Mnet, that trashy ass bitch, Mnet has been hiding Andrew this entire fucking show? Where has he been? Like, when I tell you, I was so gagged, my mouth fell open. I watched his fan cam of this and I was like, because, and it's so funny, like, I see the TikToks. I'm chronically online, so I've seen the TikToks of people being like, oh my god, the yearn in his voice, which, to be fair, yes. Like, the way that he, like, girl, can I get it up? We're gonna get it up. I need to listen to the lyrics again. Everyone please hold. For the people. It's for the people, okay? Here we go. Okay. Yeah. And the way he trails that note off. No, we're going back. It's that part. It's the it's so good. And I love the way that he trails this note off at the end. Ready? It's so good. It's literally so good. I want that entire part tattooed on my body. He is everything. We failed him as a society. Andrew Han, I am so sorry. This is my formal apology. I really hope that you go on to do crazy things, King, because you deserve it. I'm so sorry. And you know what's crazy too is that after this performance, I swapped out a vote and I voted for him. And I would have continued that, but I don't think he's here. Spoiler, I don't know if Andrew is actually on the show anymore. I don't know. It's rumored. I don't know. I feel like he may have gotten voted off because everyone literally just saw him after this performance. So like he just didn't have the votes, but we'll see. But I did vote for Andrew after this performance because I was so gagged. Let me take a little break. Okay. And talk about Wonjun, who I also think in this group has an insane vocal. That boy is so good too. And it really goes to show you where I'm just like, oh my God, we're not seeing everybody. All these people are so talented. We're only getting like a select few people. I'm like, I need to hear these people more, because Wonjun, his voice was incredible. I was dead. Hangyu, on the other hand, kind of similar to Yusen in the first group. It was, once again, hard song to sing, right? And Hangyu had already had like some vocal issues with losing his voice, so I was scared. The beginning was okay, and then his voice cracked, and I was like, no, oh no, not the voice crack, babe. But it's fine, because much like Yusen, it was like started off a little rocky, hit that damn part in the middle so well, and I was like, oh, there it was, and then it ended a little rocky, but that last part was still pretty good, but you could tell he was like straining a little bit. But I think like kind of similar with Yusen, like Yusen and Hangyu have the same thing for me, where they hit that middle part so well that I don't even remember them like messing up at the beginning or the end or like anything. I'm just like, yeah, they ate, they gave me chills. And for what it's worth, like for Rising Sun and like the song that it is, they killed it. I think they all did fantastic. But this team was especially like super in sync, and like the energy was crazy, especially because we have like Harry June is in this group, which Harry June was wearing a Boston crop top, so represent. Thank you, Harry June, for representing my city. Love that for me. But Harry June's incredible. And then Donghan. Girl, Donghan and Harry June, obviously they are idols, right? They're already like established idols, so they just give off that idol presence. They are very much they're just strong presences, and they have such insane energy Donghan's arms out. I will say another thing too. In the package, or like the rehearsal package for this team, thank you so much for giving me the Donghan hand content that I deserved. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but when he was like petting Chunbei and when he was in the stands like voting and shit, and they kept like panning to his hands, I was like, thank you. It gave me flashbacks from the Trigger music video. If anyone knows, you know. But I was like, oh, he's so fine. That's my man. But yeah, Donghan and Harry Jun, incredible presence as usual, but as expected for being idols. Hengyu did incredible. There was one funny part, okay? One funny part where at the end of the performance, I forget, someone was like, oh my god, Hengyu, you did so well, and then Donghan like giggled and he was like, well, you didn't do that well. He's like, it wasn't that good. And then Harry Jun was like, no, like, you did great. I was like, Donghan, like, I love an honest man, I really do. He's something. But it was just so funny, like the delivery of that was so funny to me. But the entire group did really well, and I think between these two groups, I think Andrew, like right between Hengyu and Andrew actually ended up winning the points for the group, right? Bitch, I'm telling you, I fucking love Andrew. Ugh. I'm gonna become like an Andrew stan channel just for that specific part in freaking Rising Sun. But yeah, both Rising Sun teams did absolutely incredible, so super proud of them. Moving on, we have Kill the Romeo Team 1. Girl. This team has given me a headache. Okay? A literal headache. Now, this is the team I've been so excited to speak on because there's so much happening. Okay? There's so much happening with this freaking team that I'm just like, y'all are messy as fuck. Okay? All right. This Zhongjing debacle is actually crazy. Which, before we get into this, can we talk about, has anyone seen Zhongjing? Like, you all say Hanwen has a crazy digital footprint. Have y'all seen Zhongjing's digital footprint online? I don't know if any of you have seen this on like TikTok, Twitter, like whatever. First of all, Zhongjing has an entire chest piece tattoo, which I did not know until I hit TikTok one day and it came up on my For You page. And his tattoo is literally from like here to here. And I'm like, hello? This boy used to do like side quests in a nightclub. And all I see, like, I'm not even going to go into details. Go on TikTok and you'll find them. But Zhongjing, he's already an icon in my book, okay? I know some people are kind of 50-50 on him for like different reasons, but I personally think he's an icon and I love him and he's an unbothered king. So, you know what? You better just say sexy king. You know what I mean? MBTI sexy, period. You are. Do your thing. Side note. Okay, sorry. Back to reality. Basically, this whole rehearsal package kind of starts with, we see Zhongjing. He is kind of like, he's always had this thing where he's like, he has already looked like he's been defeated. Okay, the past couple episodes, he's not been doing so hot. So we see him in the practice room and he's sitting against the wall and he's just like, homeboy is tired, exhausted. The masters literally ask him like, are you good? And he's like, no. Honest king. He's like, no, well, no, I'm not good. Nope, I am not. And basically what happens is that the masters give out like the win and lose stickers, right, to like whoever wins against each other for the part in the practice. And they give Zhongjing the lose sticker. And when they're leaving, Zhongjing is like, yeet. Like, he fucking flings that shit, and the staff, they're like, you need to pick that up and you need to wear it. And he's like, bitch, the fuck? And he starts like laughing and goes to like pick it up, and as if to be like, you motherfuckers, you fucking bitches. And I'm like, whew, this is crazy. Which, once again, guys, like, I don't know if I'm being too lenient with my view on him with this whole thing, but like, I just seriously think like so many people on like in that show or on that team, like the Masters, I just don't think people like him. And I don't mean that in a way that like he warrants it. I genuinely think they just pick on him, and I don't know why. Like I just don't get it. Like there's so many trainees who are like doing the same thing and like kind of like have a similar disposition, and they just pick on him. Either that, or it is of course what Mnet chooses to show us, and of course like they're showing it to us so it seems more prominent because there's so much coverage from him. But I just feel like in everything I've seen in the past few episodes, they're just picking on Zhangxing for no reason. So I think I'm still bothered too about the fact that they gave him like the no star thing, and then they like moved him up to 2, and it was like completely unwarranted, but that's another topic for another day. So in any case, Homeboy's not doing so well, and Show, this fucking bitch, fucking Show, okay, he's a little shit stirrer, okay. Show is out here being I forget what he said in practice, but he said something about Zhangxing, about how like either like not being like a team player or whatever it may be, and I was just like, oh, here we go, like the girls are fighting, okay, the girls are fighting again, what's going on, what are we doing? So I think the issue here too is that Zhangxing says that he is not used to rehearsing in a group. Like he likes to practice by himself. He likes to rehearse by himself. And that's fine. And I understand that. And I can see how, you know, he can be misunderstood in that way as being viewed as lazy. Because we saw it in the last episode where they're like, oh, he's lazy. I worry for him. Like he's not doing anything. But then they show him literally working his ass off, like practicing. The only problem I have with that is the fact that you are on a survival show, right? So like you are on a survival show, which you have to work in a team, unfortunately. And you're also on a survival show to potentially be in a group, and you're going to have to work as a team. So my thing is if you can't do that, or you're unwilling to, or you don't like it, it's not the place for you, babe. Like, and I mean that in a way that's like, I think he's so talented. Like I love him. I think he adds like a flavor to this show, and I live. But you can't go on a survival show to become the next boy group when you don't want to work with people. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, girl, we got to pick and choose, you know? So that's the only thing that I say that I kind of am like, on with him. Moving on though, we see during the rehearsal too that like, so obviously this is Kill the Romeo, right? Baby, let's kill the Romeo. And so homeboy, Zhangxing, he is, you know, they're doing the rehearsal in front of the Masters, and he has a little rose, like a little rose prop. And he goes and like baby, let's kill the Romeo. And then he like throws the rose or whatever sequence of events. And this does not go over well. Number one, with judges said something about it. And one of his teammates, which, oh my God, what is his name? Guo Zhen? I'm so sorry. I'm murdering the names, friends. But one of his teammates, he is not really digging it. And Zhangxing is basically like, well, I don't understand why I can't throw the rose and like have this rose and like use it in my part during my part if I am making sure that it doesn't affect you in your part, which I'm going to be totally honest. I don't see what's wrong with it. And this is where I come in again with another thing of like, I feel like we're just picking on him for stupid shit, because even the Masters were like, oh, you should focus on more stuff and that rose should be like the last of your concerns. And it's like, it's a performance. We're performing. We perform with props sometimes. Okay? And we've seen it a million times on Boys Planet stages. We've seen it in Boys Planet auditions. It's not new. Ji-young did it in season 1. We had the over me, not over you. Sorry, over me, with like the red scarves and shit. Like we have props, okay? This is nothing new. We have flags, okay? We have props. So I'm just like, why are we picking on Zhang again for something so tiny as a freaking rose prop? Like, I didn't get it. And then so his teammate is kind of like not happy about it. And I guess like we get back into like one of their like green rooms or whatever, and him and Zhang are like going at it, which I heard from a lot of like Chinese fans that it actually wasn't as like aggressive as like what it sounds like or what people are making it out to be. But basically homeboy Zhang Guo Zhen is his name. Zhang was like, were you making a face or were you not? And he was like, yeah, I was. And he was like, were you making a face? He goes, I just said I was. And Zhang just goes, huh. I was like, he goes, you're ruining everyone's, like Zhang was basically like, you're ruining the atmosphere or whatever the case may be, and like you made a face, like I don't understand. And then bitch, the best part of this fucking scene, the literal best part of this scene is Jihao eating his food next to them going like homeboy was getting dinner in a show. I literally cried. I was like, homeboy is literally indulging in this dinner right now, watching these two just go at it. I'm like, this is everything. I love it. But that's basically the extent of the fight that happened with those two. And I just don't understand. I still don't understand why we have so much debacle over Zhang. But moving on to the actual performance, I don't care what you guys say. Like Zhang might not be the craziest, like strongest performer, which let me also say too, if you guys are ones to go back and look at like pre-debut or like older videos, whatever, Zhang is a rapper. Okay, let me remind you all that Zhang can rap the house down. Okay, go look at his videos of him doing side quests in the nightclub, and he is rapping. I also watched a couple videos of him singing like a beautiful, sweet angel. So homie can sing, homie can rap. Like he is talented, and I obviously just don't think Kill the Romeo is like, and the part that he got was the best to showcase his vocals. So obviously like his stage presence is everything. If you want me to be entirely honest, I truly think Zhang carried on this performance, simply with his presence alone, because girl, the vocals were not giving with the other members. I think the only other member that I was like, okay, like he doesn't sound bad was Christian, and he sounded pretty good, like pretty stable. The other members were not giving for me. That fucking part, baby, that's cute, the Romeo, and then Show is like a solid 2 feet shorter than Zhang. I was like, oh my god. I was like, God bless everybody in this performance. I'm like, this is crazy. And to be fair, like, I'm like, we have to work with what we got, all right? So now I know why Zhang pulled out the rose, because he's like, I gotta do something. He's like, we gotta pull out a trick of some sorts, because this is not working. I don't know. It was a little crazy, but in any case, I think Zhang did really well. Christian sounded pretty good. What made me kind of sad at the end was Zhang basically said that he feels different, and he isn't sure if people can, or if he can be loved by everyone, which made my heart hurt, because I think with anyone, like, at least for me, when you have someone with like such a strong personality like Zhang, where he's like super confident and like all, you know what I mean? I feel like those are always the people that are like the softest in some way. And I know, like, I just feel bad for him. I feel like, yes, he can be a little bit annoying sometimes, and he is a little bit extra for those of you who might not like that type of personality, but he seems like a really sweet person, and I just feel bad that he is always getting like something from some end from someone. I really wish that he would stay longer in the competition so I can actually see like a bigger like a something with him, like a development of some sorts, because I know that he can do it. Like seeing all of his like pre-debut stuff, he's such a good rapper, he's such a good singer. I'd like to see him obviously, like honestly, in a rap part. That would be really great. And like the next challenge, if he's still here, to hear him rap, because he's great at that. But overall, I think the team was okay. I think Zhongjing was honestly the most memorable for me, to be fair. So there's that. Moving on to Kill the Romeo Team 2, all right, we have Suren as the leader. Jihao is, girl, that is his man. Jihao is literally obsessed with Suren. And it is the cutest thing to watch ever. I just like love seeing those two. He's like a ride or die. That's the ride or die friend right there. We have Hee-chan and Jihao, who have the Ricky Jung, baby let's kill, the Romeo parts. And let me also say too, like Hee-chan as well. Girl, you got that man in your group, like kind of similar to what I said about Donghan and Harry Jun with Dakabi as well. Like for people who might not be familiar with Dakabi, they are known for being like insane dancers. And they can dance, they can dance, and they have crazy presence. So Hee-chan, I was already expecting him to be something in this performance. But yeah, I think in the performance in general, there wasn't like too much that I noted down for their rehearsal. I think that they all like kind of slayed. They all like got along pretty well and like had a really good rehearsal and like did well. But for the performance in general, I just remember Hee-chan, like he is so crazy. His aura is so wild. Like the energy that he gives on a stage is so crazy to watch. I think that Sen was also not bad. I actually really liked Sen's vocals. And there were actually, I have 3 people, Rion, Suren, and one in specific, Junho, which where the hell, again, where are these people coming from? Because Junho, I just remember I have his name in like all caps because I was like, insanity, insane vocalist, insane vocals, so talented. I'm like, yeah, this group definitely 8 for me. Absolutely 8. I think that team was the one that ended up, well, yeah, I think that team ended up winning, of course. Did Zhangxing actually, I can't remember. No. It was Hee-chan, right? Between Hee-chan and Zhangxing? Oh my God. Wow, I'm trash. Yo, who won between Zhangxing and Hee-chan? I'm gonna Google it real quick. Hold on. Baby, let's kill the Romeo. Boys Planet episode 6. Don't fail me. Don't fail me. Don't fail me. Girl, I don't even know. Did they say? Girl, I don't know. I don't remember who won. I'm so sorry. I'm trash. I can't remember. I thought that it was Hee-chan, but why do I feel like it may have been Zhangxing? Either way, both, or this group, this Kill the Romeo group, did fantastic. And the vocalist really stunned me here. I was so shocked with Shuren and Rion, and Junho's voice is crazy. So Junho actually is another one that like kind of put me on the radar for him, because I was like, I remember him singing in a prior episode, and I like noted down that he had a good voice, but hearing him here, I was like, oh, that's a vocalist. Like he's hitting these notes. So team was amazing. We are on to the final stretch of performances with the Whiplash teams. Okay, so this is crazy. These 2 Whiplash teams are crazy. Let me start with Whiplash Team 1. Obviously, we have the Whiplash Avengers team. Okay, I left a lot of my notes like blank on this team because I feel like I need to just speak from experience of watching this a million times. So let's start with them in practice, okay? We know that Sungwon was chosen for the killing part, but in practice, we see that Sungwon was really not feeling too confident. There was a part during, like the trainee, where like the trainees go and vote for each other and like give feedback. Everyone was like commenting about how Anshin was absolutely like stealing the show and like the weakest in the group was Sungwon, which obviously you don't really want to hear, being the killing, like, you know, having the killing part in a group. Like, you don't want that, you know what I mean? So Sungwon was not feeling too well. He was feeling a little down in himself. And then we have our our sweet little extroverted king, Anshin, which still a gag to me that Anshin is an extrovert. Would never have pinpointed that. But we see him comforting Sungwon, and guys, I'm just gonna say this here. I know a lot of people are feeling this way. If Denny was here too, like, we've been talking about this, Sungwon and Anshin are literally P1 and P2 for me. Like, whichever way you want to slice it, like, that is P1 and P2. I just know these two are debuting. I'm sorry, they're debuting. They are. Like, I will put my money on that. So I just love seeing them together. Like, I love seeing them, like, just, you know, be besties, and Anshin kind of like comforting Sungwon, because in my head I'm like, I know that they're gonna debut together and like we're just gonna get bestie content all the time. Like, that's like how my brain thinks. So in any case, like, you know, Anshin comforting him, and then Yumeki also had some like really sweet words for him. So I was happy that he had, you know, those two to kind of like help him and like cheer him up and like give him confidence. Same with Leo, of course. But this performance, okay, we have the rehearsal and with the masters, and it wasn't giving. Like, it was not giving at all. And Miss Connie was even like, what is this, a school talent show? She's like, what are we doing? You guys are literally the all-star team. Get it together. I think there were like some vocal cracks, like the choreo wasn't giving, like it was like out of sync, whatever it may be. Yumeki starts crying. He's all stressed out. I'm like, oh my God, is this the flop era of the Avengers team? Like, what are we doing? Girl, when I tell you, we pulled it together. We pulled it all the way together. This team honestly might be the only team out of like the entirety of all the teams we've seen so far that I remember every single member by, because of just like the impact. And you know what, at this point, debut them all as a group and I'm happy, because for the most part, like, the entire group had at least like 6 or 7 of my picks. So I was like, I'm already watching the full group. They were crazy. I will start with, who do I want to start with? Let me start with I'm going to start with Anshin, actually, because in the last recap, if you guys watched my last recap with Denny, I basically talked about how, like, I've been voting for Anshin. I still think Anshin and Sungwon, to me, have the most star quality aura. It's literally like me watching or feeling like how I felt about Haobin in the first season. Sungwon and Anshin have that for me. They're just, like, you look at them, you see them perform, it's star quality. It's just, they look like the epitome of the perfect idol to me. They are so talented, it's crazy. But for me, with Anshin, I've been voting for him because I love Anshin, but I also was a little like on the rocks about continuing to vote for him, because I feel like in the past couple episodes, what I've been seeing with his vocals, it's kind of been a little rocky. So I was really looking forward to hearing him here. And oh my God, Anshin, I'm so sorry that I've ever doubted you, King. I'm so sorry. Anshin, he's just such a crazy performer. It's the face, like his face and like the energy, the vocals, just everything is just star quality to me, and I was eating it up. And Sungwon too, like having the killing part, you even saw some of the trainees being like, I'm literally falling for a man, like I'm falling in love, like, oh my God, what's happening? Like, Sungwon absolutely slayed, killed, nailed that part, and I am so happy they went with Sungwon too, because he gives the perfect amount of energy. Because of course, like, Whiplash is a girl group song, right? It's aespa, and you have to have a certain amount of cunty energy to like pull it off for me, right? And Sungwon did just that. Oh my God, it was amazing. Then we had Leo, which you guys already know. Leo is like, that's like my number one. So I love Leo. He sounded incredible as usual, obviously. King of vocals. We had Yoonmin, which was I'm not too familiar with him, but Yoonmin. I think it's Yoonmin, right? And he's great. I actually haven't seen much of him in the show, or maybe I haven't. I just don't know. I'm so sorry. But he did amazing. Same with Junsa, my man Junsa. For me, I think like oh my god, my son Chingyu. I forgot about Chingyu. Oh my goodness, I went back and watched. So here's the crazy thing is that if you go back and watch the like full cams that they just uploaded on YouTube, for some reason everyone sounds different, and I think it's because they like take out all like the cheering and like the cuts with the masters and whatever. But I feel like I didn't hear Chingyu as good, like, or as clear as I did when I went back yesterday to rewatch the performance. He sounded so good, and I was like, oh my god, this is my son. Like, Chingyu is in my son lineup, so I was so proud of him too that he did well. The whole group just did incredible, and I am in love with them, like living for them, loving them, and I just think they're like I said, debut the whole group and it's game over for me. Like, you could debut them as they are and I'd be totally fine and happy. So they definitely did not disappoint. Moving into the last team and the last performance for this episode, the Whiplash Team 2. Y'all, I'm going to tell you right now, this team has a little special place in my heart because I think out of every single team or every single performance that I've seen in the last 2 episodes, this team had the members that I think improved the most. Sorry, friends, I had to take a quick little detour because my cat was chewing on something. Okay, sorry. Going back to what I was saying, I think we were talking about, we were about to get into the last Whiplash team. My notes are blowing everywhere from my fan. The last Whiplash team, I was saying that I am very impressed with, and I was saying that I think out of all the teams, this team as a collective with like everyone in this group surprised me the most, and I think they had an overall, like the overall biggest improvement. So we have Daniel, starting off Daniel with the killing part, which I'm not going to lie, friends. I think when you're going up against the Avengers Whiplash team, it's kind of hard for you to be like, how is this one going to pan out? You know, like, how is this one going to compare? And everybody automatically kind of like puts them in the category of it's not going to be as good or not as powerful or like you can't beat them, whatever. At least that's for me, because I don't know. I'm just like, no, there's no way. Like, there's no way that you guys are going to hit this the way that this team did this. So I was kind of already being a little pessimistic about this team. We have Daniel as the killing part. And when they were choosing that, it most likely it was, I think what they said was he just was like the best fitted for the part. This is okay. So it's this team. I thought this was the Kill the Romeo team, but it's the Whiplash team where we had the 2 members also trying for the part. So we had Rensho and Sungbik, who were also, I guess what happened was either Daniel, oh my god, I'm trying to think exactly, my brain with these episodes sometimes. Something happened with in the talks or like in the practice where maybe Daniel didn't think, or his team didn't think, that he would be like as well suited for the part, and they were going to switch the parts. So Rensho and Sungbik were also like, oh, I think that I want to do it. And then the leader, or when they kind of went up against each other, they were like, no, like Daniel's well suited. I will say, in terms of like Rensho and Sungbik, there was a part that I really liked with them going up to Daniel and kind of like being good teammates and being, because sometimes I feel like, at least what is shown, which once again could be the evil editing of Mnet, but sometimes people get a little petty with when they lose or win over another trainee the part that they want. And what I really admired from Rensho and Sungbik was that they were really positive and like really good teammates and kind of like encouraging, and they would like go up to Daniel and like encourage him, and I really liked seeing that aspect of the team. Okay, so we get to the rehearsal, we get to the performance time, and first of all, Daniel is like his visual is so wild. I like did not expect that. I kind of already knew that we were getting a little bit of a mask Whiplash. This was the mask Whiplash performance, okay? But I will say, like, I was so impressed with this team. I thought that Daniel, first of all, Daniel sounded incredible. I was like, oh my God, like, where is this coming from? Like, he is holding it down. Like, he is holding it down. He is doing the damn thing. He's got good energy. I was stunned. Like, I was genuinely so stunned. Like, I didn't know what my expectations were for this team or for Daniel too, like being like having the killing part, but I was so pleasantly pleased. So he did amazing. I'm not gonna lie, there were like a few divas in here. Like, they were whiplash. I was like, okay, I'm seeing some divas. We had that little bean, I forget his name totally, but the little bean that performed oh my God, what's his name? He, like, in the audition, he was like the one with like the hair, the like little blonde hair. He was so cute, and he was giving diva down. Same with what's his name? I have his name down. Peng Yu, is that his name? He is such a fucking diva. I was like, okay. And to be fair, like, with the way that this performance started off, like I said, it was giving like masked up. They're kind of doing a little bit of a little something. I thought it was great. Overall, I thought the team was really good. And as I said, it was really fun to watch because everyone in the group was stable. Like, they were all stable. Daniel sounded amazing. The vocalist sounded good. The energy was there. In terms of, if I kind of like, and this is being totally unbiased, obviously from like a technical standpoint too. Daniel was a little bit weaker with choreo and in terms of between him and Sungwon. But just in general, I think that the first team kind of, the energy was the right one for that song. I think it was a little too, like I said, it was a little too mask for me from the second team. Because, you know, aespa, Whiplash, it's got to be a little, you know, a little zesty. And I just thought the first team like nailed it with that one. And I think also too Sungwon, because all right, so here's between Sungwon and Daniel, because I'm saying this from the Killing Point member standpoint, just because that's kind of like the main what we see and like, you know, all that. Sungwon in general is just, he has softer features, you know what I mean? I think that and the way that he dances and portrays like the dance moves and everything, he just like suited Whiplash so much better. Daniel is fucking tall, dude. He's so tall, and he's like built too. So I think some of his moves, like his dance moves, were like a little sloppy, and could have been like, okay, there's one part in particular. In sloppy, I don't mean like sloppy, but I mean there was one part, you know, that part, it's like the killing part for the killing part member person, and everyone else is just, and then they're like whiplash, and then they do the little, you know what I mean? Like they do a little like thing, and then like the whole team joins in again. Sungwon did that so freaking well that it would be so hard for me to like ever compare. Like you can't compare to how that. So I was kind of like, damn it. But like I said, all in all, the second Whiplash team like ate, and I thought they did incredible. And I think they all had, like, for me, like I said, one of the best teams in terms of like overall improvement and just gaggery, because I wasn't expecting them to be as good as they were. And Daniel held it down vocally, so props to him, truly. That was the end of the teams. However, it's interesting during the voting for these two teams because we had so many ties, which, listen, I'm not going to sit here and be like, it was rigged, because I literally just said, like, I was gagged at the second team, and I think that they had the overall biggest improvement, which it was tough, like that the competition, honestly, like between them, I at first didn't think the Avengers Whiplash team had any competition at all, but I was stunned with the second team. So I'm not like shocked that that you know, there was multiple ties, or I should say, you know, losses for the Avengers team, but it's interesting because of the margins that they won or lost by. And that was kind of crazy. I was like, is this rigged? I'm like, is this rigged or is this real? Is this real? Is this real? Gnarly. Freaking gnarly. You know what I mean? So I was like, this is so interesting. The voting was interesting. But at the end of with the final scores, final wins with benefits, whatever, the Kill the Romeo team, we had the team that won was Hee-chan's team. Or I'm saying this just because I don't remember who the leaders of every team were, but I'm just saying it based off of like who was in there. But we had Hee-chan's team for Kill the Romeo, Junmin's team for S-Class, deserved, love that team. Hengyu's team for Rising Sun, Junseo's team for Whiplash, and Lee Jong's team for Plot Twist. Which is great. And then of course the special benefit, which is the Studio Choom and M Countdown, is going to the Whiplash Avengers team, which I am so here tomorrow. Girl, what keeps freaking going off? My mouse keeps like going on and off. I'm so sorry if you guys have to keep hearing that. But in any case, that is the wrap up and basically the short version of what happened in episode 6. The majority of it was obviously just the performances. And like I said, there was so many good performances for the past 2 episodes. And honestly, if I had to rate them, I would go with, I think, the Whiplash, not to be like cliche, but I really do think Whiplash Avengers team was my favorite out of all of them. I might be a little biased too, just because like everyone, but I'm gonna be real, like almost everybody in that group I've picked or I'm voting for, and it was almost my perfect lineup. So it's kind of hard for me to like, you know, go to any other team besides them, but they were my favorite team. And then probably Junmin's S-Class team, and then I would honestly put, oh god, okay, well I guess we could do my favorite out of all the teams, because my favorite was the Avengers Whiplash team, and then Junmin's S-Class team, Hengyu's Rising Sun team, and then Hee-chan's Kill the Romeo, and then Lee Jong's Plot Twist. So basically how they won is my favorite team out of all of them. But I think my favorite performance overall was, of course, Whiplash. So that is where we are at, everyone. This is a crazy ride. Now, I think this week we have the they're doing like sports day, and I think we have the first the first elimination round, which is never the best. If anybody watched the live elimination thing last week, we had to live vote out of 4 members who were going to take like the 48th spot. And I'm so salty because Donghan was one of the members in there. Oh, it makes me so mad. You know, guys, you know what the crazy thing is too, is like, I've seen Very Very, I mean, you guys already know this, but I've seen Very Very in concert, and very close, like literally like 5 feet away. Like I was like this with Very Very, and seeing them live has completely changed my perspective on their talent. Like they are just like unreal, totally unreal. So like seeing a Very Very member be in like 48th place or like potentially eliminated, I'm like, what are we actually doing? You know what I mean? But in any case, it's going to be an interesting episode. I love a little sports day fun. You know, we love a little fun in the sun, away from all the drama that's occurring in Planet Camp. So it'll be a fun one. Once again, I will be reacting to the M Countdown and Studio Choom with the Avengers Whiplash team. So whenever those come out, which I think is literally like today and tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, at some point, you guys know that I will be reacting to those. But In the meantime, friends, I would love to hear your thoughts on episode 6 and what your favorite performance was, who you want to discuss and kiki about in the comments. If there's anyone that you are like really riding for, if there's anyone I didn't mention, which, like I said, I'm so sorry if I do not mention every single person and every group's name. I just kind of like note down the standouts for myself personally, but please make me aware if you want me to get on the train with some people, because Lord knows I am easily persuaded. But in any case, friends, thank you for sticking through this little talk through with me, this little recap for episode 6. Hopefully Denny will be with me next week, and we can kiki together again. But yeah, love you guys so much. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on social media. Everything is in the description below. Hope you guys have a wonderful day or night, no matter where you are in the beautiful wide world. And until next time, I will see you guys soon. I love y'all. Bye. Mwah.